Wow, you
Heavens.
got it. Like you didn't.
I did need you. Okay, we're gonna have to try to get as far back as we can.
I know.
So
Yes.
come join me, friend. Hello,
Hello.
everybody. So welcome. It's Monday night and it's time to learn about the lymphatic system. So I am Skyla Mann and I live here in West Des Moines. I've been a member for about 15 years. Thank you to Sonia, my neighbor. And
I'm Sheila Conner. I've been with Young Living since 2014, and I live in Grand River, which is almost to the Missouri border. It's a long way away from here.
Yeah, so thank you for coming and spending your evening with us. We appreciate that so much. No kidding. So a few weeks ago, it was in July, I believe, a bunch of people in Young Living did a challenge called the Lymphatic Detox Challenge. Did any of you hear about that? Good. Some of you did. Okay. Did anybody do it? That was going to be my next question. Okay, excellent. That tells me that we're probably going to have some testimonies or at least a little familiarity with some of what we're talking about tonight. And we're going to share some other things as well. But we are so glad that you guys are here in person. We're grateful that you are here on Zoom, and we are recording this tonight. So if you want to just sit back and absorb, you can watch the recording later. If you want to take notes during the class, we welcome that too. But let's start with a general disclaimer. I know you might not know me, you might not know Sheila, but we're not doctors. Okay, just putting that out there. We're a lot of things, but doctors we are not. So whatever we share tonight is not designed to diagnose, treat, or prescribe you, but we do hope that it will give you some ideas that you might connect the dots, and you might decide to go home and research a little bit further. You might even decide to ask your practitioner about some specific things that you're going to learn about tonight.
Yeah.
And we want to help you get empowered about what your lymphatic system is and what it does. What else? Signs to look for.
Yeah.
Because to be honest, I had never really done a deep dive into this topic prior to this lymph challenge. I knew what it was. I had lymphatic massage done, but I had really not done my own research, which is not a shocker if you know me. But I have smart friends who do love to research.
Yeah.
And together, I think you are going to leave tonight feeling really empowered and really equipped.
I hope so. I hope so. That is the goal. Yeah.
So,
that is the goal.
Did everybody fill out the door prize slip? Okay, good deal. And we might have a few more coming in.
Yes.
So,
yes.
let's see. Yeah, actually. Okay, let's do. Do you want to take your off? We have some handouts for you.
Yay.
Get excited about that.
I know.
Fun.
Thank you.
Hello there. Good to see you. Oh, well, you did though.
I know.
Good.
Thank you.
Oh, bless your heart. Good. Good.
What's that? My feet get really
Yes,
cold.
actually, you can. Oh, right here. We've got some. Okay, so we are passing out some handouts, and I'm sorry, I will make these available in the lymph event afterwards, or talk to your diamond and we will make sure that you get those. Okay, I apologize, I didn't get that done before. So I'm starting out.
Okay.
Correct?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's hit the very first topic here. What is the lymphatic system? Okay. It is an extensive network throughout our body of vessels and capillaries and tissues and nodes and organs. And it is part of our circulatory system. And did you know that it's also part of our immune system? So those two work hand in hand together. Now, I like this description. It is our sewage system of our body. And perhaps not the kind that you're thinking of But truly, this stuff is pumping through constantly, and the goal is for us to pump it out, not to continue circulating sewage, okay? So the lymphatic system maintains body fluid levels by removing all fluids that leak out of our blood vessels. It clears away infection and illness causing invaders. It absorbs digestive tract fats, and it removes cellular waste and debris. And the immune system portion, it is part of it, but we decided that's probably a whole nother class.
Right, yeah.
But just know that a healthy lymphatic system helps build a healthy immune system.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go to
Okay, so
you next.
how does the lymph system work? I mean, everybody kind of knows that they have lymph nodes, they have lymph vessels, they have lymph fluid, but maybe you don't really understand how it all kind of fits together. All right. So forgive my artistic ability because it's not fabulous. It's not fabulous, but the fluid in your body is pumped by the heart. Now, the heart is a very powerful organ and it pumps hard. And it has the ability to pump the fluid in your body, the blood in your body, throughout all of the organs and the vessels. And when it does that, the organs and the vessels leach fluid through the walls. And that fluid becomes the lymph system. The lymph system gathers that fluid up and takes it into its own place and circulates that through the body. So when you think of lymph fluid and where the lymph system is, think of a piece of chicken, okay? This is a very good visual. You peel back the skin and what do you see? That light, thin, kind of flimsy white piece that kind of covers the meat. It kind of separates from the skin, but it's still there. And you got to kind of wash that off. That is called the fascia. Now the lymph fluid lies right below the fascia and the fascia lies right below the skin. So that is where your lymph fluid sits. So when we talk about moving your lymph fluid in like a manual touch, you don't have to push at all because it's right there. It's right under there. So I'm going to jump ahead a little bit of myself. When you get like a lymphatic massage from a licensed massage therapist and they do a lymph massage, they are pushing very lightly. They are not rubbing and grinding and moving your skin very much because it doesn't take much to get that fluid moving because it's right under there. So every time that now that you take off a piece of chicken and you see that white stuff, you will think too, I know what this is and I know what this used to contain. I know, visuals are awesome. Okay.
And fun fact, first time I got a lymphatic massage, I was expecting to have my lymph nodes milked. I mean, like I thought it would be a lot of pressure to push it up and through. And I was too. I almost told the woman, I don't think I'm getting my money's worth because you're not doing anything.
Right.
It felt that light. Have you guys ever gotten one? Okay. It is an experience. I mean, it was great and it does do things, but I appreciate that disclaimer because I should have known, I wish I would have known ahead of time because I'm laying there like, what the
I'm
heck?
not getting anything. Right. You think of massage and you think I'm going to move muscles and I'm going to move, everything's going to move and it's going to be forceful. And this is very gentle.
Very
and that's all it takes. It doesn't take much at all to move. So, all right. So this is the way that this pumps. Okay. So you got the heart. And like I said, the heart is a very strong pumper. It pumps out fluid. So it moves everything through all of its vessels and stuff. And it goes past the cell walls and it goes past the tissues and it goes past the capillary beds. And it comes around the corner and starts shooting out and surrounds everything. And at some point, the fluid that is in there is going to come squirting out the side. And it's going to gather in what we call the lymph fluid, okay? And the lymph fluid is going to take its own track, its own path, because it's got its own tissues, its own organs, its own vessels, its own veins. It has its own system that runs through your body, separate from your blood and everything else. It doesn't mesh with those, okay? It comes out of that and then stays in its own little pool. So then it comes around and it starts pumping through the body, okay? And so it does its whole same thing, all right? So when we've got lymph fluid moving, that's a good thing. When we have lymph fluid not moving, that is not a good thing because once our lymph fluid stops moving, it starts to pool. And the reason that it pools is because there in this lymph tract down here at the bottom, there are one-way valves. Okay, so let's draw that on here because I'm into visual aids. I love visual stuff. All right, so our one-way valves work for not only our lymph system, but they work for our heart. We have 4 valves in our heart. Those are all one-way valves also, okay? So when people talk about their like the aortic valve in their heart needs replacing or whatever, those are all one-way valves, same as our lymph fluid system. Okay, so we've got one-way valves in our lymph system, and they look like this. All right, they're little doors, okay? And they go like this, and they go like this, and they go like this, and the fluid's coming around and it's going this direction, okay? And when they get to this, the pressure of the lymph fluid comes through here, and the door stays open, and the door stays open, and the door stays open, and it keeps going. Now, if we don't have a good system of moving this, because there is no pump here, it leaves the cell wall where the heart has pumped the stuff around it, and it comes into this system, and the lymph system itself has no pump. There is nothing to keep it going. It leaves the heart pressure, and it just kind of hangs out. So how do you suppose it moves through all of its little vessels? There's 2 different ways. These little vessels each have small, smooth muscles that are attached to them, and they go all the way along the edges, okay? And that in of itself keeps the lymph fluid moving. And the other thing is that we have to move it via our skeletal muscles. So us walking, us exercising, us diaphragmatic breathing, there's different things that we can do to keep our lymph fluid moving through these one-way valves. If we don't do that, our valves block it from going forward. And then it starts to basically back up. And if it backs up, because these are only one way, the little trap doors close and it stops. And the little trap doors close and it stops. And every time that that happens, you get pooling of your lymph fluid. And because you've got gravity working against your favor, it's going to start at the bottom of your body. So how many people have been in a plane? And when they get out of a long plane ride, they have really puffy ankles, okay? Or you get up in the middle of the night or in the morning and you've got puffy eyelids. Or you've got your hands are puffy, like you feel like you might have worked out like in the garden yesterday, but you didn't, and you can't squeeze them because they feel all full of fluid. That's because your fluid has stopped moving. It has gone through your one-way valves, and it doesn't have enough pressure to do that. And the little valves have closed, and now it's just stuck there. So we have to get it moving again, okay? So what we're going to teach you at the very end of the class is how to get that moving, and we're going to have some interactivity, and it's going to be fun, okay? I'm telling you right now. All right. So we need to move. So that's one of the biggest things about our lymph system is that we have to keep it moving, all right? Whether that's just walking around, jumping up and down, just moving our arms, walking, whatever it is, we just need to keep moving. That will move our lymph system because, again, it has no pump on its own. Okay, any questions on that? Okay, all right. So so the fluid is out here and it's moving through the whole lymph system, okay? But what Skyla said is that it removes a bunch of icky stuff and puts it back into our body. The nodes take out the goop, they take out the bacteria and the viruses and the funguses and all that stuff. And you want to keep that away and keep your immune system clean and boosted and healthy. So where does this fluid go once it is moving around and is circulating? It has to go back to the heart. It drains back to the heart. Now, this is the fun part. When blood comes out of your heart, it pumps, the pressure is 120 millimeters of mercury, which is basically what your 120/80 blood pressure is. Okay, that makes sense. When it comes out of the heart, it's at 120, about that. When it goes back into the heart, it's down to 5. So it's a very low pressure. And lymph fluid needs low pressure to re-enter the circulatory system and redistribute. So it comes in at the very end of the circulatory system, joins down here right before it goes back into the heart. The heart pumps it up to 120 and shoots it back through your body. Does that make sense? Okay, so you've got 120 up here, and you've only got 5 down here, and the lymph fluid has to have a low pressure to come be re-enter, and so it likes it down here. It's smart. It knows that that's where it's going to enter. It knows you have been set up divinely to have that happen. It's going to come in here where it's going to be the most useful, and it's going to come back through the heart and start pumping again. All right. So that whole system happens with you all the time, every day, every minute, every day. Okay. All right. So there's ways that we can help our system move. Okay. We talked about walking. We talked about massage. We talked about, there's a thing called a rebounder. Does anybody know what a rebounder is? I have one. I didn't even know what it was. It came from my grandmother. I thought it was just this little mini trampoline. Okay. Yeah. Okay. There's a reason for that instead of just jumping up and down on it. As we were kids, when she had it, we just jumped up and down. We thought it was actual trampoline. It turns out that that's a really good thing to move your lymph. So if you have one, or you can get a hold of one on a garage sale site, because I don't even know if they sell those like in mainstream stores anymore, but
I've seen them online.
can you get them online? Okay.
Okay. You can't afford the really fancy rebounders. A simple mini trampoline.
Yeah.
Would do
Good.
it like from Walmart or
Sure.
Target, that's
Okay.
$15, $25.
Yeah, perfect. And all you have to do is get on it, and it's got to have enough, enough resistance to just make you do this. And even if you just stand and do this, right now I am moving my lymph. And you know how I can tell I'm moving my lymph? Is because I get a metallic taste in my mouth when my lymph liquid moves. And I never noticed that until I took the lymph challenge in June. And I started moving my lymph very actively, and pretty soon I'm like, okay, things taste kind of funny. And now that's my indicator. So when I get things really moving, I taste metal. So you will be able to tell something will change. You'll get hot. You will start to perspire all over your body once you're moving your lymph. Things will change. You'll be able to know that that is doing something. Okay. So look for whatever that indication is for you personally, because every single one of you will have some kind of an indicator that your lymph system is moving. Okay. All right. So the other things that we can do to move our lymph is dry brushing. Does anybody know what dry brushing is? Okay. All right. So dry brushing, for the people that don't know, this is a very long handled dry brush. Okay. My dry brush at home is a long handle like this, but it's got a head on it. You can pull the head off and just put it in your hand and use it. Okay. And sometimes I keep the handle on, but usually I take it off and I separate it. Dry brushing is a very good thing because it will move the lymph. It will move the lymph in your system, but it's a very light. Feel that? It's not very hard.
Yeah.
It's kind of a soft brush. Okay. So the experts claim to get a natural bristled brush that's very soft, and all you're doing is basically you're just doing this. You're flicking. Okay. You're flicking. So you're moving, and you're going to do that all over your body. You're going to do that everywhere, bottoms of your feet, all the way up your body, all across your stomach, as far back as you can get. That's why the handle is here, because you can even do it back here. You're going to move all of the fluid towards your heart, because like we said, it circles around, it comes out of the heart, it ends up back into the heart. So we're just going to help its natural path, okay, to move back towards the heart. So dry brushing is a very good thing to do. Now, having said that,
So you started your extremities and moved up, or started your feet. And moved up this
yes,
way, right?
exactly. So you always start at the end of your extremity and move towards your heart, always towards your heart, and then go down to your feet and move up, always towards your heart, always towards your heart. Now, two things. The left side always drains last. So you need to open the left side first to get everything going towards the left to have it drain in at the very end. Okay. And that's going to become really important when I show you what the protocol that I have made and what I do, and it becomes very obvious as to why I do the way I do it, because the left is the one that has to be open all the time. So where the big dump is. So if any of you deal with lymph issues right now, for me personally, I always have fluid in my legs, always. The history of my lymph stuff is that I had breast cancer surgery 5 years ago, and I was put on a lymphatic leg pump because when I was in the hospital, they said to me, wow, your legs are really swollen. We're concerned about that. Let's get you on a pump. So while I was in the hospital for those 2.5 days, I got put on one. And when I got out, things didn't get any better. So they gave me to a lymphedema physical therapist. And she said, you have lymph fluid issues. How long has this been? And I said, I've had swelling in my legs for 30 years. And she said, this isn't swelling, this is lymph. And she said, we can do something about this. Now, prior to that, I had been on Lasix. I had been on every single water pill, anything to make me basically get fluid out of my body, and nothing worked. Nothing. This physical therapist knew what she was talking about, and she put me into compression stockings. She showed me how to get a lymph pump at my home. I do it every night for an hour and a half, every night. I absolutely love it. There are actually nights out that I don't do it, like I don't take it on vacation. And because I do what I do massage wise now, I don't have to do it every night.
Does the lymph pump do What does it look like?
So it's a unit. It's like a unit about the size of a computer. And I set it next to me. There's cords that plug into it. There are leg sleeves. Now, if you had, like, say you had breast cancer and you had a bunch of nodes removed, they might give you like an arm sleeve to do have a lymphatic pump for. I didn't have any issues with my arms with my breast cancer. I had issues with my legs because I had already had issues with my legs. For 30 years prior to that, I had been fluid pooling in my legs. So they weren't concerned about this. They were concerned about this. So they have plastic sleeves. So it's almost like you look like the Michelin Man. You unzip them, you put your leg in, you zip them up, and it covers your foot to your hip.
Wow.
And there's two of them. And they have, yes, honey.
So how do you get one of these lymph pumps?
It
Like,
is
this
it's a
something-
prescription.
I was
It's a
gonna say, is this
prescription.
something that you
Yes,
have to
it's a
have
prescription.
doctor and
Now,
does
having
insurance cover it?
said that, insurance did cover it, but because I had breast
Because it's
cancer,
medically necessary.
exactly, it was medically necessary. Now, I do believe there are chiropractors and in West Des Moines for sure that you can go in and actually pay them to lay in their lymph pump in their full body.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh,
and I know of one, and I'll tell you who it is after the class because I know that he will. You can just pay to go in there and have you lay inside his full body lymph pump if you want. Right. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm sure there are other chiropractors other than just him, but I have seen him advertise basically on the internet that he will let you rent his lymph pump for a session.
Wild.
Yeah.
Okay, can I ask another question? Then
Yes.
you were talking about the dry brushing.
Yes.
So, I've tried that some before on and off, and I started years ago with my daughter who has sensory problems. And I've always heard different things about ways to brush. And you say for dry brushing, you just want to flick.
Click.
You don't want to do it in a circle?
I have done a lot of research about dry brushing, and I have not really heard about going in a circle.
Okay.
The
Right.
abdomen is where I read going in a circle.
And your abdomen, you should do is always do everything in a circle, clockwise, because that's how your digestion moves. That's how your intestinal tract moves. So you always go clockwise. It looks just like that. That's exactly what it looks like.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Amazon, $400.
Oh, okay, Amazon $400. There you go. Yeah. so you just
Bypass
look
that
like- you
You
look
prescription.
might
like
be
the
able to
Mich-
find one
Yeah,
cheaper.
you look like the Michelin Man. So you just put your legs in and you sit there and it has chambers. And so it pumps air in and compresses as it goes. Okay. Pardon me? I am in it an hour and a half. So my husband and I watch a couple, shows of Blue Bloods or something, you know what I mean, on DVD. And my hour and a half is done. It goes very, very fast and it feels wonderful. It feels wonderful. It's the best. It's not hot at all. No, there's no heat. There's no heat. It's just air pressure pushing up against
So like a
your-
blood pressure
like a blood
cuff.
pressure cuff, only very
For
gentle,
your-
very soft
okay.
and very gentle. Yeah.
Don't they kind of put that on people when they have surgery in the hospital?
They do,
typically?
exactly. They do. That's exactly the same thing. Right. Because that's, I was like the mini size of that while I was in the hospital.
So in
Yes.
the hospital, it's that compression.
Yes, exactly, exactly. Yes.
So were you subscribed to do it for an hour and a half, or did
I
you
was
just find that that's?
I was
your-
subscribed when I started for an hour, and I
Okay.
did that for the first 3 years. Every night, 3 years, 1 hour. And then when things were like regulating, things were going well, I thought, this feels so good. I think I'm gonna do it for a little longer. So I do an hour and a half, and that's kind of my sweet spot right now. Yeah, hour and a half is what works for me. Right, right. Back to your dry brushing question. I haven't seen a lot of circular motion with dry brushing, but like I said, on stomach, you always want to go in a circle because again, that aids in how your
But
digestive
just
tract
short,
moves.
quick
But
flicks.
yeah, short,
quick
yep,
flicks.
just short quick
And like
flicks, that's it, yep, and up, because you're always flicking up towards the heart. Yep, because that's the way your valves are going, so you're gonna wanna take it up. If you take it down, you're working against your valves, and then you're gonna pool, you're gonna block, because your valves are gonna close. So your valves are always moving up towards your heart, legs and arms and whole body. Does that answer your question, sweetie?
Yes.
Okay, all right, you're very welcome. So, where was I? So I do the lymphatic leg pump every night. All right. So that's another way that you can get that done if you want to find on Amazon for $3.99. It's great. It's a great machine. But if you know that you have pooling in your legs, this is a big thing because it's going to center down there. So to get that out of there, we have to get it moving out of there. So yes, honey. This works for everybody,
just thinking the
anybody
same
and
thing.
this is not just a lady thing. This is an everybody thing. Exactly. Yeah. Any kind of time that you've got fluid pooling somewhere and you're feeling like you're just puffy, whether, like I said, whether it be in your face, your hands, your arms, your legs, a lot of times they say that lymph fluid forms and pools where you have cellulite. So that is Pardon me?
Dress.
Yeah, I know. So that is another place where you can massage or flick a little bit extra with your dry brush, and that will start getting that fluid out of there and possibly help shrink or move or dissipate your cellulite. That's just one of the more recent things. They've also found more recently that your brain also has a lymph system in it, and that's only been found about 6 years ago.
I've heard that.
So
And is the fascia being stuck also part of like the lymph fluid not moving?
yes,
So like myofascial.
yes, release, exactly.
Release.
Yes, is that too. That's all together.
Which
Correct.
is a harder type of
That is
massage,
harder, but
it's
that's-
getting that fascia thing. So I'm thinking about the fascia blaster, when you said cellulite, that fascia blaster thing that have you ever seen?
No.
I've seen that on
It's a
TV.
little, it's a little two or three claws on
Oh.
a PVC thing, and you like go like this.
Okay.
On your, and she says that cellulite is actually fascia that's
Stuck.
stuck. And so if you don't wanna like go to a myofascial person all
Yes,
the time.
yes.
Then this little fascia blaster, I
Okay,
guess,
okay,
is what she calls it.
Okay.
She's got ones for the face.
Okay,
ones for the
that
stomach,
would make
ones for the
that would
back,
make
like,
perfect
it's
sense.
Long enough that you can
That would
go
make perfect sense because if
wherever you have
yep,
like love handles.
yes, if
or
you
your
loosen up the fascia, the
arm or
fluid
whatever.
underneath will start to move. Yes, yep, that's
Yeah.
all connected. Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never heard of the fascia blaster though. Woo.
Yeah.
Gadgets,
It's
gadgets
all on
are
Facebook, so
Yes.
if you wanna borrow one of mine, I've got a
Okay,
couple.
all right.
So you're saying if you have lymph nodes missing,
If you have lymph nodes missing, yes, it will mess up the flow of the lymph. Correct. Correct. Yes. Yes. So I would, if you've got a lot of nodes missing, I would check with your physician before you do any kind of a pump around them, just to make sure everything is okay with doing that issue. Like I said, the nodes that I had taken out, they didn't go too very far. They took up the first and the second nodes on each side, and everything was fine, so they stopped there. So I'm not missing a ton of nodes. Okay, and they don't have me in sleeves. Now, if I was in a sleeve and I had nodes missing here, that would be a completely different thing. But because I don't have nodes missing from my hips down, then I can use the pump here. Right. So I would definitely check with your physician on that. I'm not gonna say if that's a good idea with nodes missing or not there. Yeah. Yeah, right.
Do
right.
you have
Yes.
nodes drawn on your diagram?
I do not.
Okay.
I do not.
Do
Yeah.
you know where they would be?
They come
if-
at the end of the vessels, and they collect stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Okay.
no, I didn't put those on here. Right, didn't put those
I'm
on
just
here. 'Cause
trying to
that diagram would
visualize
be
what-
this
huge.
big.
I
Yes,
understand.
as big as this
No
part.
problem.
Exactly.
I love your
Exactly.
All
There's nodes all
Right,
over.
everywhere.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So on the Facebook event, Skyla put up a really great picture of the
Yes.
lymph system, and it's like a human body frame with a bunch of green lines, and it's actually got all the nodes and stuff
Right.
there, and there's a lot of them. There's a lot of nodes, but they take in all the cellular debris. They're like little sponges, and they suck stuff in them. You know what I mean? And then they filter it out and they pump it through things. So they in and of itself are part of that immune system, part of this whole system. But no, I didn't put those on here because they're a part, but I didn't include those. Yeah, there's too many.
Perfect.
Exactly. So we talked about the dry brushing. So use that. I like dry brushing. I don't make it my main focus of how to move my lymph. I used to. And then I found what I do now, and what I do now works so much better. So that's why I was excited to teach you about moving your lymph, because a lot of people will do this, and this is a fabulous gadget, but it isn't my favorite. And so I wanted to share my favorite and what I do, and I get great results from what I do.
Can you share what is good about the dry brushing?
Yes, please do.
Like, the first time I did dry brushing, I did it on my leg, and I sit on a black chair in my office, and I was amazed how much dead skin just came off while I was dry brushing. So it does help move that dead skin lot,
yes,
so that
yes.
your skin can breathe.
Yes.
And it takes off the old layers so your skin can renew itself.
Yes.
A lot like scrubbing, like using a nice fine
Yes. Yes.
exfoliating
Exfoliator,
something
right.
in your face. And I was like, wow, now when I dry skin brush, I don't get that
Yeah.
anymore.
Right.
But the first times I did it, I was like, whoa,
Right,
man, that's
right.
a lot of skin. I need a
Right,
vacuum here.
Right. Right.
What can you do for like swollen ankles?
Okay, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. So dry brushing, Sonia, thank you very much. That is a very good point. It also makes your skin really soft. because it's taking all that dry, icky, dead skin cells off. And so let's talk about dry brushing. When do you do it? When do you dry brush? It's dry for a reason. So most people do it before they get into the shower. All right. So this brush is pretty soft. I mean, you can pass this around. People can feel how honestly soft that is. 4 minutes, 5 minutes tops. Yeah.
That's all it takes.
Yes. We're not getting Kathy out of bed any sooner than we have to. Exactly. So yeah, so you do it right before you get in the shower. A lot of people stand in the shower because you're going to lose dead skin cells. So you might as well just wash them down the drain, right?
That would have been smart. of me.
Exactly. Well, the first time you can do it, stand on your towel so that you can see everything that falls off and you can have a good visual of it. After that,
Yeah.
do it in the shower.
Seriously,
Exactly,
I'm
right.
so bad at connecting the dots. Until you said that, I had no idea why all my skin was coming off on my towel when I was doing the challenge. It never occurred to me.
Were you doing dry? skin?
Yes, I was doing the whole
Yeah,
thing.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
wow.
was-
yeah.
I mean, like this brilliant woman said she could taste the metallic flavor when she was running, and I'm like, I never put that together.
Okay, yeah, all right, I'm not nuts. Yeah. Yes. So stand in the shower and do that. Start at your feet and just flick, do bottoms of your feet, cover everything, because everything has lymph fluid. All of yours, everything that has skin, there's fluid underneath it everywhere. Okay, so do it everywhere. You get your little tushy, get around your girls, get all of it, do all of it. Okay. So start at the bottoms of your feet, do the tops of your feet, do your ankles, work your way up to your knees.
Isn't that another, were you gonna talk about that?
Yeah, I am. I'm totally gonna talk about that. Left side, I do left side first because we're gonna open the left side first, right? We're gonna open the left side first. So I always start on the left and I brush up to my groin. Then I go to my right and I brush up to my groin. And now that I've got that fluid up here, I start moving here and I start lifting up. Exactly. And then when I get up to my clavicle area and my trunk, I throw in my hands and I left side first, work my way up underneath your arms. So hold my arms. We're going to talk about a pit versus a puff. 2, don't let me forget to do that. Okay. A pit versus a puff. Okay. All right. Change to the right side. Brush, 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 brush. You're always going to be brushing towards your heart. Okay. So everything's going to come up and you're going to brush towards your heart. You're going to do it on your neck. You could even do it on your head if you want to. It's not fine. I don't do it on my face because I use a nice cloth. It's got enough exfoliation. It's okay. But I do it on my neck. I do around my ears. I do it here, but I don't do it on this part of my face because that's just too rough.
They
for
do
face.
have a face
Yes.
one too.
Yeah,
I've seen them.
yeah, I'm sure they do. I just don't own one, but
I don't either.
I've got a good, nice cloth that I do that with. So
Yep.
yeah, so that works. So that's how you can dry brush. Then you jump in the shower. And I'm telling you what, while you're dry brushing, it's a little bit scratchy. And your body's going to be a little tingly. And when you get in the shower, it's just going to feel wonderful. It's going to feel so good. Yeah, it's fabulous once you get in there because all the icky stuff falls off and it's very invigorating. Now, the cool thing is that you eventually, once you dry brush or you even do manual massage, which I'm going to teach you on a regular basis, you will not be able to tolerate as hot a water as you do before you start. I love hot water. You ask my husband, I will stand in there for a half an hour and it's got to be scorching hot. And now that I've been lymph massaging, it's barely on lukewarm. And it's fine.
And it's better for you.
And it's better, right? It's better because it doesn't dry out your skin as bad and it doesn't have to be scalding. It feels as good, even though it isn't scalding, as good as it was when it was scalding. And I love hot water, let me tell you. Yeah, but you will notice that you can't tolerate it as much, and that's an okay thing. That's a good thing. That's a good thing, right? Because your skin is opened up. Yeah, there's new good skin things going on. Okay, make sense? Any questions so far? Okay, I feel like I'm throwing a lot of information at you.
Great.
Okay, all right. So, okay, yes. Am I talking too fast? Because I am a fast talker. Okay, all right. I just get excited about things. So if I'm talking too fast, just say slow it down. Okay, all right. Okay, so what happens if we were going to talk about this, and it's on your sheet, what happens if and I'm doing this mostly for the Zoom people, what happens if your lymph system is sluggish? Let's say you're not brushing. What are some of the key factors that you should be looking for to start brushing? So how about joint pain or arthritis? That's a big deal. People don't really put together that they have pain if they don't have lymph issues. but they don't know that they don't have lymph issues because maybe they've never realized, wow, I have lymph and that's why I hurt. So if you hurt, you might have a lymph problem, okay? Skin conditions, cold hands and feet, because there's not good circulation going on there, not just blood, but lymph circulation. Unexplained pain or injuries, chronic fatigue, food sensitivities, bloating, that's a big deal. Bloating is a big deal. If you feel bloated, check your lymph system. Make a mental manual check of your lymph system and just kind of take inventory and say, you know what? Where am I puffy and why am I puffy? Do I have good reason? Because I worked out yesterday, or because maybe I sat around yesterday and nothing moved. And that's in this world, we are stagnant. I mean, that is a big deal. So if you sit around a lot and you don't move a lot, your lymph will let you know that it's stuck. Okay. Weight gain is a big deal with lymph. Frequent headaches and depression. Your lymph system is directly connected to your immune system, and your immune system connects to your emotional system. All of you work together. So if you are depressed, your immune system is not in a good place, which means your lymph system is not in a good place. All connected. Everything's connected. Okay. All right. So let's talk about, there's a couple other ways that we can move our limbs. Anybody heard of legs up the wall?
Yes.
Okay. Legs up the wall is basically we talked about those one-way valves. Those one-way valves move fluid up towards your heart. What happens if they're not moving fluid? How do you get them to do that? Basically stand on your head, right? Yes, reverse gravity, right? So put your butt against the wall, put your legs up it, and just lay there for a while on your back with your butt up against the wall and your legs straight up. That will help the fluid go in the right direction because your legs are pointed basically in the opposite direction of what they normally would be, okay? And you will feel or taste the metallic. You will feel the fluid literally draining out of your legs. It will be obvious. It'll feel like there is something moving in there, and there really is.
And if nothing's moving and you don't feel anything, then
You will feel something. That's the crazy part about it.
And I didn't feel anything.
Okay, keep doing it.
Keep doing it?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Keep doing it. You will feel it. You will
Okay.
feel it. Right. Does anybody in here have restless leg? Do you know what that feels like? That kind of. Yes. Okay. That's a lot like what it feels like when you've got legs up the wall. It's that movement of stuff under your skin. You swear there's something under there. It's just the fluid. It's just the fluid. Right.
Okay.
So if you know what that feeling feels like, you can maybe identify with, okay, I do feel something, but keep doing it because it will work. It will
Okay.
work. All right.
So I'm curious if that's what's so beneficial about inversion tables.
Yes. Yes.
Is that
Yes.
something for it?
That's good too. Yes. It's good for your spine to elongate your spine, but it's also good for your fluid.
Okay.
Yes, definitely.
So when patients tell you, you're saying you have to get some minutes or
Exactly. But it will. No, it will. You just have to keep doing it. You just have to keep doing it. Do it on a regular basis. Right. So the more regularly that you do this and add in a few extra things, the more regularly that you do the things, it will help. It will really help. So I started the Lymph Challenge in the week before it actually started. So I think it started sometime in June. I think it might have been like June 13th. I was scheduled to take my mother to California for 2 weeks to see her brother. She's 89 years old. So we got on a plane and we flew, and I started the challenge early because I didn't know if I was able to do it there. And I didn't bring the jacket. I was going to bring you a jacket. So I was going to wear a denim jean jacket because I thought, you know what? California evenings might be kind of cool. We might be out on the patio having dinner somewhere. I put the jean jacket on. This is before I started the challenge, and the arms were so tight, I couldn't bend my arm. And I thought, okay, well, I can't take this jacket with me. So I put it back in the closet. I started the challenge. I did it for a week. I was packing for the trip then, for real. And I pulled the jacket out, and I thought, well, how tight could it be? Okay, I'll take it anyway. Worst case scenario is I don't wear it. I put it back on, and I had space. And the only thing I did was the Lymph Challenge for 1 week, 7 days. That was it. That was all that it took. I actually had like this much space in that jacket, and it's a spandex jean jacket, so it's made to be kind of snug. And I thought, there's something to this. There is, and I haven't stopped since. I do it every single day, and I've done it since then. I didn't stop when everybody else stopped for 2 weeks. I just kept going. Yeah, so it really is worth what I'm gonna tell you because it made a huge difference in just 7 days. It was amazing. And I was gonna bring a jacket because I was gonna show you how loose it is. Yeah, it's fabulous. It's fabulous. All right.
Doing the lymph challenge again in the fall.
They're doing the lymph challenge again in the fall. So if you can get on, I think it was Facebook and get into that, highly recommend doing that. How are we doing on time?
Is it open?
No, not yet. Not yet. I don't know when her fall. Yeah.
I just read fall.
Yeah, so if you're on Facebook and you're interested in doing that, her name is Tiffany Smith. And I think it's probably just gonna be called like maybe the Fall Lymph Challenge 2022 or something. I think she called the first one the Spring Lymph Challenge 2022. So if that's something that anybody wants to get on, it's open to the public. She gives you the documents, she gives you what the supplies to get, she gives you the instructional videos. She gives, yeah, the supplies that we're gonna talk about tonight is exactly what she used, and that's exactly what I use now. So yeah, she gives you all the information. So I highly recommend following that because she is. She's great. She's fabulous. Yes. Okay. So Skyla, do you want to talk about what we were going to do up here for? So these are the products that I use, that Skyla used, that we who did the lymph challenge back in the early summer, late spring, used to get the results that we got.
So the good news is that it's a pretty small collection here. There are just 5 items from Young Living, and then there are a couple of extra things like Epsom salts and hydrogen peroxide. I'm gonna take one of those and one of these. So I just wanted to share a little bit of information about each of these, just so that you would know what they do and the power. Like, how many of you have Citrus Fresh at home? And did you ever think about it being more than just a nice scent to put in the diffuser or on your dryer balls, right? Or in your water, perhaps. Okay, so this little bottle, sorry, dryer ball, it is incredibly powerful. So Citrus Fresh, well, should we start at the top? That would be so much more organized. Let's start with this one, just because I grabbed Citrus Fresh. This is the big kahuna of the lymph detox plan. Okay, the Cell Light Magic. It is made up of grapefruit, cypress, juniper, and cedarwood. And there are 4 bullet points there that talk about kind of what those do. Grapefruit is a very cleansing oil. We've used it for years for eating away at cellulite. It's amazing. You can take it internally, the vitality, or you can use it topically. Cypress, what do we use cypress for? Circulation, yes. So that's the whole point of this, right? It's grounding. It offers, we call it an ambiance of security, but cypress is just a very powerful oil. It also has benefits for the skin, hair, and scalp. Juniper, which is one of the oils in Cell Light Magic, tones the skin when applied topically and makes a great addition to lymphatic and post-workout massage. So that's perfect. And then finally, cedarwood, which is one that you might know in your nighttime routine. Very calming, very soothing. Also excellent for healthy hair, skin, nails, scalp, that kind of thing. So Cell Light Magic combines all of those things with sesame, sweet almond, wheat germ, sunflower, and olive oils for a very smoothing and, I don't know, just kind of calming massage experience, but it has all those added bonuses of helping reduce cellulite. Okay, so we're going to take the Cell Light Magic and we're going to dump in an entire bottle of cypress oil into this bottle. Okay, now if your Cell Light is clear full, brand new, you might have to pour a little bit out just to make room, but you're going to add an entire bottle.
Young Living is wonderful because when you buy a bottle and it's brand new, it's filled to right there. So you don't have any extra space to put anything in there. So you're gonna have to dump out
A little bit.
an inch or 2 and just put it in some other kind of container.
Perfect.
But yeah. I mean, I'd rather dump some out and put it in a different container
Then a partial
Yes,
container.
they get a partial container
Exactly.
to start with. Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so let's pass around, and actually, I will pass this around. If you've never tried that, you are welcome to put a little squirt in your hand and rub it in so that you can feel it. And then the next one we're going to talk about is cypress essential oil. So this one has a long history of use as a construction material due to the durability of its wood. So cypress wood is very strong. It was used by the Phoenicians and the Cretans to build ships and bows, and by the Egyptians to build, some would say it, sarcophagi. Thank you. Its botanic name, which is Cypressus sempervirens. Why did I write that? I don't know. Silly. It's derived from a Greek term that means live forever. Okay, that's what I want you to remember. Cypress has a clean evergreen aroma that can be used aromatically to create a grounding and serene environment. So are you understanding the combination, both aromatically and energetically, of cypress with the cell-like magic and all the oils that are in it? It is amazing, okay? It can be used to help reduce the appearance of blemishes and promote healthy looking hair and skin. Next up, we're going to talk about citrus fresh, okay?
Are you dusting all of these in?
No,
No,
just the cypress, just the cypress. Yep,
And I got so many comments on how good it smells.
it does. And so Sheila talked about the dry brushing right before you get in the shower. So the other thing you're going to have to accommodate for in your morning routine is that when you turn the water off, that's when I like to put a couple of pumps of this Cell Light Magic still when I'm in the shower, and I just massage it on, stand there and, you know, have a little dance party for a second, and then you can dry off. I don't want to wipe it all off on my towel, you know, so you just, okay? But do that all in one fell swoop, and your skin is amazing, and you do smell like heaven.
Oh, it does.
Truly.
This was wonderful.
So top to bottom.
I do.
I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, everywhere.
It's
Yeah,
amazing.
everywhere. Yep, top to bottom. Yep. I don't do it on my face, but I do it up
No,
to my neck,
yeah.
right up to my earlobes, front and back.
Everything.
As much as
Basically,
your back
use it
is your
as your body lotion. It
Right.
becomes your new
Right.
body lotion. So you want to put it everywhere.
And the
Yep.
unique thing about Young Living's massage oil, you guys, is that they absorb so
fast.
quickly.
I
Yep.
couldn't believe how.
It's
fast
not-
that breeze
It's
is.
not like you're gonna
Yeah, of course.
slide out. It does. It starts out that way, but it
Yeah.
absorbs fast.
And
It's
you don't have to worry
yeah.
about the sun, right? That
correct.
sunshine on that.
Correct. Now the citrus fresh, we'll talk about that, but this part, no.
So I did the lymph challenge, but I'm highly allergic to everything ever.
Oh,
Juniper,
oh, shoot. Okay.
Spruce, doesn't matter.
All of that.
So I was unable to do the cypress. And the
Okay,
massage oil I
okay.
used and I was fine.
Okay.
But I knew if I put cypress in
It
it, I
would-
would have a rash.
Oh, of course.
Okay.
Of course.
I
Yeah.
can brush a juniper bush
And
and I
get
will
it.
have a rash
Oh.
immediately.
Yep.
So I didn't know if there was a substitute or some other oil I could.
Lymphatic might, because it is also circulatory.
Whatever.
But
Not
I,
if
it's from a
no,
plant
she's-
and not a
yeah,
tree.
yeah.
Right. Yeah. Helichrysum might be a good one. A different plant family.
It's just probably 10 times more expensive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the other,
Certainly.
Right.
thing to consider, and I don't know how many times that we take you to do this, but there's a therapy called NAET. And that they can help reprogram your system without some of those allergies. So if you want to see me after the class, I can do
We have a great
counseling
practitioner here in
that
town.
does NAET, but whether it's a food like, corn or
Mhm.
wheat or
Environmental
or whether
stuff.
it's an environmental something.
That might be something to
Um,
look into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially because if you like to be outdoors and it's got you frustrated.
Right.
I learned that with the first house, we had a juniper bush and I'm out there trimming it away and then I went inside and I was.
Oh. So
Yeah.
winter harvest is not probably your number one
Okay,
vacation
no,
destination.
exactly.
Darn. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about citrus fresh. This one, all of our citrus oils we get from cold press distilling. They are not steam distilled, and it's a blend of orange, grapefruit, mandarin, tangerine, and lemon. And it has a little hint of spearmint, which is why we all love it. So, and yes, Okay, there we go. Sonia's saying that that helps provide a healthy or support a healthy thyroid. So make a note of that. You can take it internally. You can use it topically, and it has antioxidants and cleansing properties. Okay. And of course, there's a million ways that we use it in our homes, dryer balls, diffusing, water, that sort of thing. But in this lymphatic protocol, it is actually most often used topically and in water. Okay, the next thing we're going to talk about are our favorite multi-greens. Okay, so
No, and
there is something specific here for this protocol.
correct. I looked into
And-
that too, because someone asked me that question a couple of months ago, and then you can't. And they didn't have the nature greens then, but they said the ingredients in multi-greens is specifically works for this particular type of a detox, whereas the Ningxia greens are not the same. They're not the same
Right.
components.
They're fantastic,
Yes.
but
But not for
they
this.
aren't quite the same.
Right, yeah.
So
Yeah.
multi-greens delivers a combination of invigorating greens, including spirulina, alfalfa sprouts, barley grass, bee pollen, eleuthero, Pacific kelp, and more to support our overall health. It features Melissa oil. Anyone used that one before or familiar? Melissa is absolutely amazing for our immune system. It is amazing for a lot, even emotional uplift. It's also one of those high priced ones, kind of like helichrysum. So the fact that we can get it in our multi-greens is a huge, huge bonus. It provides a lot of energy and it supports overall health. And like Sheila said, don't substitute out anything for
Yeah.
this one,
No,
because you're gonna,
And the recipe on in the detox program is 3 capsules twice, like before 2 in the afternoon.
twice a day.
Twice a day, 3 capsules twice a day, so 6 total. Because these are energy boosters, you want to do them before 2 p.m. So like 3 in the morning and like 3 at lunch, but then don't take them after that. So, and that's why Nature Greens also doesn't, they're not calculating out how much greens
Right.
is worth a capsule, because these are actual capsules.
So
Yep.
multi-greens is also thought to be kind of like a internal deodorant, like the more you greens you take, the more chlorophyll you take, the less you have to use deodorant.
Okay,
So I'm just curious if the BO smell is from clogged lymphs.
probably,
That
now
would
that
make-
you
I
say
don't
that,
know,
right.
Logical sense.
Right.
I'm just curious now.
Things
knowing
get
that
Yeah,
backed up.
that makes sense, right, that makes sense.
I
Yeah,
think that makes total
Yeah.
sense.
yeah.
That's really, I mean, it for LA.
So are you saying we really need 2 bottles of the multi-greens to do that challenge then?
No,
There's,
there's
there's-
120 in this,
Yeah.
in this bottle. So you can, so
One bulb, yeah.
So it would be,
you said
6,
3
so,
in the morning,
so,
take 3
you're doing-
capsules twice a day.
yeah, so 6, right, so this will last you to
so you would
20
need-
days. 20 days?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and the challenge is,
was 2
2
weeks
weeks.
when we did it.
so if you're
Challenge
doing it
is 2
for a
weeks.
month, you would want 2
Yes,
bottles.
yeah,
Oh,
so
okay.
just, yeah, so if you're gonna do it for the rest of your life, like I do, I just order a bottle every month on Loyalty Rewards.
Yeah.
And I got it. Yep.
So are you still
Yep.
taking 6 a day?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yep, this is, a matter of fact, I'm waiting for my order to come on, what day is it today? It's Monday, it comes on Friday, and I have 4 left. So I didn't time that very good.
Well,
Yeah,
we'll make a
yeah,
donation from
exactly,
Sheila's.
exactly.
Okay, the last oil that we're passing around is rosemary. And what do you guys think of when you use rosemary? What comes to mind? Okay, clean, cleansing. What about up here?
Supposed to help with clarity in the mind.
Yes.
I learned this a long time ago.
Yes,
'cause
yes.
I give it to my daughter.
yes. So it's great for memory. It's great for focus. So I have been diffusing this at my desk a lot just because it helps me stay on track. So if you need to swipe some on your feet or just have it diffused, if you homeschool, it's a good thing to just have in the house.
Does it work if you put it in bread?
Why not? I've got a plant on the deck. Yes, stick it in your hair.
So how are you using the rosemary and citrus fresh in the?
We're gonna get
So
to
we're gonna
that.
get to that.
We're gonna
Yeah,
get to it.
that.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay. There's one in every crowd.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I didn't go through the
No, we will. So, rosemary, native to the Mediterranean and Asian areas. And what are the big things? It's got a robust, invigorating herbal aroma. Again, it's going to help healthy looking hair. I don't know how many times we repeat this. Has anybody also started taking the new Inner Beauty Collagen? Because you guys, the other day, after a long drive, we stopped in a rest area and I looked in the mirror and I thought, who in the heck is this? I have all of the, I'll just pull them out on purpose. I have all of this new hair that I did not have. Look at this. These little short things, this was not here a month ago. It's crazy. It is. It's ridiculous. So the combination of all of this stuff, it's like my body said, okay, we're going to work again. It's fascinating. I was just fine. Let's not talk about that. That's another class. No, it actually probably does. Yes. Decreasing.
Well, I mean, I think it's because my body finally getting all
Yes.
Oh, sure,
So you're not
sure,
craving.
right.
not
Right, right.
That's true.
Right.
Oh, that's great.
That is true. Okay, so rosemary, like we said, great for the work environment, mental cognition, may provide immune and general wellness support, and it contains a lot of antioxidants. So that's kind of a high level overview. And then of course, we're going to add Epsom salts. We're going to add baking soda that does not have aluminum. That's a big deal. And hydrogen peroxide, that is the 3%. Oh, how did we describe that? I read that somewhere. 3%.
3% hydrogen peroxide.
It just
Yeah,
says 3%. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
So those are kind of the overview of the products.
Yep.
And then
So
we're gonna get to,
we're gonna talk about how we're gonna use them. All
Yep.
right. So Skylar talked about, you're gonna take your bottle of Cellulite Magic, you're gonna dump your bottle of Cypress in it. All right. You're gonna use this every day. At some point, either Skylar uses it in the shower. I use it in the shower for the first few days and I didn't love it there. I
okay.
got out of the shower, I dried off, and then I used it like I would body lotion.
Okay.
But I didn't use much. So when I'm not a super pool of greasiness. Okay. And by the time I get done with my whole body, by the time I go into my bedroom and get my undergarments on and stuff, it's not an issue about being slippery and whatever. You don't coat yourself like you're gonna be, dripping with stuff. Okay.
Slip and slide.
Yeah, not a slip and slide, not necessary. Right.
So then are you putting it down from the bottom, working?
Nope,
into it?
I just
doesn't
put
matter
it
on the
anywhere.
lotion.
That I just put it on like lotion. Right, exactly. Okay. So that's those first two things. All right. Then you go with your Citrus Fresh. Your Citrus Fresh goes in your main lymph areas, which are underarms. You know where I do it? From here to here. And I take 3 drops in my hands, I rub them together and I go whoosh, 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 whoosh. Okay. From my elbow to like basically right below my armpit. Okay. So I rub it on there. Yes, and it's on your sheet. It's on your sheet that you're gonna get. So
during the cleanse, it is written there.
yep, it is written there. Yep.
not worried about the sunshine.
You're not worried about the sunshine because it's under there. Right. Now, having said that, I do it up here too. Because if I know I'm gonna be inside all day, like a day like today, I wouldn't go outside and work in the garden. I wouldn't go outside and mow the lawn. I'm gonna put my Citrus Fresh up here because you know what? It's gonna start moving stuff. And why shouldn't I? Right.
Or if you're gonna wear a hat.
Or if you're gonna wear a hat, right? Or
Or
if
if it's
yes, or if it's
inside.
winter and you're gonna have a turtleneck on, it doesn't matter. Exactly. So you put it on your main lymph areas. So your underarms, your stomach, all right? And that I do in a circular motion. So from here on in, everything that I do, I'm going to work in the direction that it's supposed to go. Okay. The body lotion part of it, I don't, but from here on in, everything else I do. So it goes on your stomach. I work in a clockwise motion. So if you're talking about clockwise versus counterclockwise, if you're standing here, going to your left is clockwise. So if you had a clock facing out, clockwise would be going this way, right? Right? That's clockwise. Okay. That's how your digestive tract moves, is clockwise, is in this motion. So I massage in this motion. Groin. So groin can be basically, so you have your legs here, divide your trunk, okay? Basically what I do is I put 2 fingers there and I put the Citrus Fresh in, so you get a little bit on your legs and you get a little bit above your, on your groin area, okay? So that's just easy for me. I put these two fingers together, I stick them here and I do this, okay? That's your groin area. Next place you do it is behind your knees. Citrus Fresh goes behind your knees. So again, 3 drops, rub together, circle, 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 okay?
Speaking of before you come before you.
Yes.
I just want to say, is your spouse doing this too?
No, he is not.
Okay, because I don't know how, like for boys, I don't know how tingly Citrus Fresh would be on their,
But you've already got this as a carrier oil underneath it.
okay.
So here's the
Yeah,
cool
yeah,
part is that
Because
I have freshly shaved in the shower.
okay,
I've gotten out of the shower, I've done this,
Okay,
and I've done this, and it does not burn
okay.
because you got this underneath it.
Okay, good.
Even with the other oils in it, you've got this underneath it. So your carrier is already, if it's burning, you could always add some V6 or some coconut oil or whatever. But I have never had a problem. I tried that and I thought, oh, this was a bad idea. I should not have done this. And when I did it, I'm like, hey, we're golden. It's good. It did not hurt a bit.
Do you put deodorant on?
I don't put deodorant on every day because I don't stink every day. I mean, I don't, seriously. I can go for like 3 days without deodorant. My system has gotten to be so clean that I don't need deodorant.
That should be everybody's goal.
It's sticky.
Really.
I'm not gonna tell you, I
Yeah.
perspire, it's sticky, but it does not smell.
Yep.
It does not smell.
Maybe
Yeah.
your oils are-
Yes, definitely.
Absolutely.
No, they have definitely antibacterial, yes,
can make
properties
it
to
or
them.
not.
Sure, definitely. Right, right. So again, 5 main areas are underarms, stomach, groin, backs of knees, and then ankles is one we haven't talked about yet. Finally, the last area is your ankles. So again, 3 drops, and I've got my, foot up on a chair, and I'm okay, they're on my ankles all the way around both sides, okay, and I'm always working up. Okay, so if you're going to do something, go up. If you're going to move, go up. Okay. Any questions on that?
I was just gonna mention something that when the massage therapist told me, and it's kind of a little bit different than what we've been saying.
Okay.
The word.
Okay.
She told me, because I have a laptop. She told me that when you think of dry brushing or even just patting yourself, you think of a clogged pipe.
Yes.
And she said, if you have a clogged pipe, you're not gonna start down here. You're gonna clean out the area for it to come down.
Correct.
So she told me to start here, work out.
Correct.
Add a little more, then add a little more.
Yep. Yep.
And then by the end.
Yep.
I'm doing my water.
Yep. Yep.
And she said, you don't wanna start here because
No.
you're pushing this fluid into an area that's.
It's already clogged. Yes.
So it's
Yes.
kind of opposite of what you said.
Well,
but it's
okay,
good.
so-
When I do my arms or anything, I'm like starting here towards my heart, and then adding a little more, and then by the end, I'm doing the long stroke.
And I'm going to talk about that exactly, because when you Google how to dry brush, they're going to tell you exactly what I told you. I don't do it that way. I have learned better since then. Right. Because it's like a toll booth, just like you said, a clogged pipe. You have to move the first car at the toll booth to get the last car through the toll booth, right? You can't take the last car and shove it up in front of everybody. It doesn't work that way. You have to get the guy in front out of the way and then move everybody else up behind him. That's exactly what it is. And like I said, if you Google dry brushing, they will say, start thumbing your feet, start thumbing your hands, do that. I kind of modified that once I found a better way to do it. And I totally agree with what you're saying. And that's exactly how I do it now, is I totally agree with that. Yeah. You probably would. Yeah, yes, exactly.
You're so
Exactly.
famous.
Exactly. Pardon me? So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. So did we lose our connection?
Nope, we're good.
Okay.
I'm just answering a question.
Oh,
here.
okay, all right. Okay, so this is what I do. This is my routine. This is what I do. When I get out of the shower, I do the body lotion thing. Okay, and Kathy, this takes me about honestly, I can do this whole thing after I get the body lotion part on, the Cellulite Magic on. I can do the rest of it in less than a minute flat. That's how fast, because you're not pushing hard. You're just moving the stuff. Okay. So I'm going to show you what I do. So I get the body lotion on, and when I get out of I got out of the shower and I put that on, I start with my neck. So this is what I do. So am I here? Yes. So I'm doing my neck like this. I'm using the back of my fingers. All right. I go across here to my clavicles because we talked about, we drain and we didn't talk about that. Okay. We didn't talk about that. Oh, my little man. Oh, we didn't talk about my man. All right. When it goes back connecting to the heart, it comes up through the body, all the little lymph drainage areas come up through the body and they come up through into the subclavicle veins at right here underneath your clavicles, and it drains into the heart there. Okay, so you're going to bring this part open. You're going to get this part open. So this is what you do. So I do this. So I start with my neck, I do my clavicles. Next thing I do is my underarms. So I'm doing this. I do my wrists, I do my elbows, I do my underarms, I go back to my clavicles because I'm going to open this up now that I've stuffed stuff there. Always starting on the left. I'm talking about my hand. I don't do the brush anymore. I don't do the brush anymore at all because I have found a better way to do it for me and it works better for me. This is just my hands, exactly. So I've got the oil on. And now I have done the citrus fresh, and now this is the protocol that I do after that. Okay, so neck, clavicles, underarm, elbow, wrist, back to elbow, back to underarm, back to clavicles. All right, start on the left. Do that same thing on the right. Underarm, elbow, wrist, elbow, underarm, back to clavicles. Go down here. You've got a huge system of lymph nodes and vessels running down through your body. Okay, stomach, I go up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Then I go in a big circle. Okay, this is opening everything up. Okay, all right, then I'm going to groin, doing this with on my groin. Okay, then I'm going down left side always. So we've opened this up. All right, now we're going to the next card in the toll booth, which is behind the knees. So I do that. Then I go down to the ankles and I do this. Then I come back to the knees, do this, come back to the groin, do this, starting on the left side. Same on the right. Back to groin. Back to knees, back to ankle, back to knee, back to groin, back to stomach, circle, up and down, back to clavicles, clear everything out, done. That's it. We will all, you know what, we're all gonna do this. We're all gonna do this. We're gonna stand up and be interactive. Yes.
I would do that.
As fast as I just did it.
Okay.
And if you do it every day, that's all it takes. That's all it takes because it just needs a little bit of movement. You know what I mean? Right. And then you're going to go about your day and you're going to keep moving. Some people say they don't do their wrists because they're typing, they're writing, they're waving, they're driving, they're doing a lot of stuff. As long as I'm doing it, I might as well just do all the body parts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. I add in, oh, sorry, honey. It depends. When do I take a shower and when do I get ready? Yeah. So, you know, it has nothing to do with when I eat. Yep. I have found for me that when I have back pain, I do it back here too. So if I have back pain and I have low back pain, I will rub like this and I will get stuff moving back there. And by the time I do my neck and my clavicles and start on my underarms, I can taste the metal. That's how fast I can taste the stuff. I know stuff's moving by that time. It doesn't take long. Once you do it every day, it's super easy. It's super fast. You're done in less than a minute. I just had the backing whenever I think about it.
Oh.
Yep, I just had the backing whenever I think about it. Yeah, and I throw extra citrus fresh on places where I have like saddlebags and I have, extra cellulite on the insides of my legs. And I have, anywhere that I have extra stuff, I put extra citrus fresh there. So I go through a bottle of citrus fresh pretty fast because I'm going to put it in all the spots. And why shouldn't I? Because it's going to help. And it has been helping. Yeah.
So you do it at least once a day, but could you be doing this several times a day? Or is it better just to do it once?
I would say do it once. It doesn't have to be in the morning. You could do it at night before bed if you wanted. But I think your body it'd be too much of a detox reaction at that moment. You know what I mean? This is a big, like a detox thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You are moving stuff that is not used to be moving and your body's going to go, whoa, what are you doing? So I wouldn't do it more than once, especially to start. You can, I haven't, but you can.
You can.
Yes.
Anytime.
Anytime we
shake
right, things up. Yes.
I mean, even if it's
So don't be surprised.
a
Yes,
juice
yes.
or whatever, your body can
Yeah.
say, hold on,
Yeah.
what are you doing? This is not our normal routine. And for some of us, headaches are, for me, that is something that my body uses to communicate that something's off.
Yeah.
So,
don't be surprised.
correct.
Right.
And you have to kind of commit, like, I'm gonna work through it. And drink more water, move more,
Yes.
sleep more, whatever.
Yes. Okay, now 2 things I'm going to get back to for you. We talked about the girls, okay? The
Yeah.
girls are important, seriously.
Mhm.
Did you
Okay.
do the poop and?
No, we haven't done the poop in the pit yet either, so we're going to get back to that. Two things, yes. Okay, so let's talk about the girls. If you wear an underwire bra, get rid of it. Get rid of it, get rid of it, get rid of it.
Hallelujah.
There are good bras out there that don't have underwire that will give support. You're just gonna have to find them and have probably be fitted for them, but the underwire cuts you off right at the point where you've got major lymph circulation here, major nodes here, major whatever. They are directly connecting underwire bras to breast cancer. It is not, they are not a good contraption. Get rid of them. I can't preach that enough. As a breast cancer survivor, trust me on this, okay? Just look for a better solution. Please look for a better solution, all right?
And
Yeah.
you guys, I will tell you that if you exercise or even just walk around the house without one, you will regain elasticity.
Yes,
I walk our neighborhood,
Yeah, there you go.
walk that
You gotta
neighborhood,
be like,
no bras.
Skylar.
especially in the fall and the winter
Yes.
when it's sweatshirt season, but I
Yes.
will absolutely, I don't care. I
yeah.
just don't care.
No.
But they get life
Yeah,
again.
yes, yes,
Beautiful.
yes, it will make your pectoral muscles
Yeah.
do work. You will be able, I mean, they will have to hold you up because you have nothing else holding you up.
So I have a question.
Yes,
What if you've had a double mastectomy and you have implants?
I have those.
No problem.
No problem.
Okay.
None whatsoever,
Yeah,
whatsoever.
so tell me, I haven't worn a bra since 1949. How about
Okay.
you?
I haven't worn one for 5.5 years now, going on, no, actually,
Oh,
yeah, going on
I've been
almost 6.
22 years.
Right, so I have like a bralette kind of a thing. It's just a cotton, you know, it's basically a camisole.
If I
You
need
know
one,
what I
I
mean?
wear a camisole.
Yeah, that's all I wear. And
My bra has no padding, no, I mean, it's really light. and
Right.
I found it
Yeah.
years ago and,
yes,
and
no,
I
that's
take
all-
that off and it's the first thing that comes off when I get
Yeah,
home.
yeah,
My shoes and
underwires
my
are
bra.
lethal. They are literally lethal. Please, please, please consider getting rid of those. All right, so massage these girls. So you want to move them up and down, okay? You want to move them in, you want to move them out, you want to fluff them. You want to get that fluid around there. There's a lot of fluid around here. You want to get that moving and get it out. So go in, go out, go up, go down, move them, okay?
They're behind
The other thing
muscle
about the, oh yeah, Adriana, yes.
So does that, not to be personal, but like, does that look like tissue test?
Yes, totally. That exactly, it's been my problem my whole entire life was that I always said I had a dense,
Yeah,
yes.
check.
Yeah, exactly. It's fluid. It's fluid. The denseness is fluid, right?
The more it
So the more it flows, the less dense they get.
Yep.
Exactly,
So
right.
that- So that. we're gonna do the massage rep too.
Yeah, yes, and I cover everything. I mean, seriously, I'm head to foot with this lotion. Yeah, with this massage lotion. The pit versus the puff. You can tell when you have a lymph problem. If you hold your arm up like this, okay, and you have a hole there, that is a pit. You're supposed to have a pit. It's supposed to be a deep pit, okay? If you don't have a pit, you have a puff. So right now I have a puff. This is a puff. It's basically flat. Or worse, it could stick out a little bit, you know what I mean? And be kind of poofy, right? If you don't have a hole there, I mean a hole. You got lymph issues. And that's an easy way to check because you should have a pit there. And if you don't, you got stuck lymph fluid. And that's a big area to have that. It's both arms. Yes, both arms. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So go home and hold your arms straight up and don't manipulate it. Hold your arms straight up. And what do you see? Is it flat or is it convex? You got lymph issues. If it's concave, you probably don't have as bad of a lymph issue. Okay. Okay. Pit versus the puff.
Okay, I
Okay.
love
All
it.
right. Okay.
I
All
love
right.
that.
Okay. Yeah.
Is there anything
I
to
love this so much.
sleeping on your left side? I've heard that the left side is the sewage part, that's like.
Yes,
sewage
yes,
thing.
yes. Your left side is your whole sewage side, right? So when you're laying on your, oops, thank you, sweetie. When you're laying on your left, did you guys ever had a colonoscopy? And when you come out of the colonoscopy, they lay you on your left side so that you can release the gas. That's because your organs tip in the correct fashion on your left side to get rid of everything, including gas, including anything and everything. So your left side drains and functions better when you lay on your left. Yes.
Yeah, I've been seeing
Yes.
things where you should sleep on your left
Yes,
side.
I'm a right sleeper and that causes all sorts of issues. Right,
Yeah.
right. I should be more of a left sleeper and I try, but it's hard.
Yeah, it is hard.
Yes,
yeah.
but your organs are upside down when you're laying on your right. Your organs are right side up when you're laying on your left. Yeah. 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 Yes, honey.
I was gonna ask, have you ever heard of the crust when you're not pregnant or
No, I haven't.
sounds miserable.
Yeah, I have someone that
I don't know anything about that, sweetie. I'm sorry.
I'm
Yeah.
for sure checking the hormones. What's going on with the hormones. Those hormones are what trigger us
Right.
into breastfeeding and all that kind of stuff. So are they on?
Right.
Kind of hormones.
Sure. Okay, do you want to do some interactivity? Do we need to stand up and do some moving? Should we?
Yeah,
Okay,
just
at home,
stop moving.
stand up with me. Okay, we're gonna do this together. I'm gonna teach you how to do this, all right? What I just talked about, what I showed you, we're gonna do it together, okay? All right, so you just got out of the shower, you put on your Stellite Magic with your Citrus Fresh in, or no, I'm sorry, with your Cypress in it, okay? You're gonna take your bottle of Citrus Fresh, you're gonna do 1, 2, 3 drops in your hand, rub them around. First thing you're gonna do is I go on my neck. As long as I'm not going out in the sun, Citrus Fresh is sun sensitive. You don't wanna put it on if you're gonna go in the sun, okay? Goes there, it goes across the clavicles, okay? It goes across the stomach and I do in a circular motion. And every time that I do a new body part, I'm taking 3 new drops, rubbing it in my hand and I'm gonna put it on, okay? So I go about what, 3, I usually share 3 here, 3 on the stomach, 3 on the groin, 3 on the knees, and 3 on the ankles. So how many is that? 6, 18 drops a day, 20 drops a day, something like that? Okay. Oh, arms, yes, arms are, yes, good call. Underarms, all right? So I'm going from elbow down to just past, you know, in this part, like where your, you know, edge of your bra would be, yes, where your boob starts, exactly. Okay, so I'm doing that, both sides, okay? All right, then I'm going to the stomach. Thank you for the order, I appreciate that. Stomach in a circular motion, all right? 3 more drops of oil, groin. 3 more drops of oil, rub behind the knee, and I put my foot up on the toilet. I'm gonna be honest, and I do because that's easy for me. You know what I mean? Or I bend over and do it this way. All right. 3 more drops of oil, rub around the ankle.
Good time to stretch.
Exactly. Okay.
Split that between 2 or just like?
I start with just behind. Then I do all the extra stuff, and this is just completely optional. I take the extra time and I do like my saddlebags because darn it, I have saddlebags, you know what I mean? And I have, like I said, I have cellulite on the inside of my thighs. So I do more Citrus Fresh there. I do more Citrus Fresh because I have a tummy poof. I do it across there, not just because I'm doing that circular motion, but I'm actually doing more here. Honestly, I've got this and I don't like this. So I put extra up here too. You know what I mean? Anywhere that I have some extra
Anything.
and extra anything, whether it's fat, whether it's fluid, whether it's whatever, I do that. Exactly. Yes, exactly. Right. So that's what I do every morning. That's what I do. That's Stellite Magic. Then I add in, or my Citrus Fresh then I add in my multi-greens, 3 right away with breakfast or right away in the morning when you get up, 3 about lunchtime-ish, okay? The rosemary comes in when you do foot baths. Now, you should be doing foot baths 3 times a week. Epsom salt foot baths are really, really good for you. You put drops in, and I think it's 20 drops to 4 cups of Epsom salts. Is that right? Okay.
Well, this says 10 for a bath.
10 for a
10 drops
for a
bath, for a body bath.
Oh, body bath. 10 drops for a body bath.
To 4
Okay.
cups of salts.
Okay, so 4 cups of salts, 10 drops of rosemary for a body bath.
Yeah, so
In
if
the
you're doing,
bathtub.
so if you're doing a foot bath, you can probably do 5.
Okay.
To 2 cups
To 2 cups of
Probably
Epsom
cut
salts?
that in
Sure,
half.
sure.
I
5 drops of
apologize,
2
I
cups of
do know
Epsom
how to
salts.
spell Epsom. I'm so sorry. I
Okay.
put an N on the end.
I don't do those, so you know what I did? I cheated. I stuck this in my Stellite Magic. So I get it every day.
There you go. Okay.
And I don't know if that's my game changer or not. I don't know why my jacket fit after a week when it didn't fit a week before or not, because I screwed up. I wasn't thinking. I put the whole bottle in there. I did. I dumped the whole bottle in, not thinking that I shouldn't have until then I read the directions and went, I did that wrong. Oh, well, too late now. And I've just continued with it ever
Be
since.
like Sheila.
Be like me. Yes. I've just continued with it ever since. So
There you go.
cypress and rosemary in my Stellite Magic. Yes. And boy, do I smell good. Holy smokes, do I smell good.
I got
Yeah.
out of the shower the first time and my granddaughter was there and she goes, what oil did you put on? You smell great.
Yeah. I don't have time to do foot baths. As much as I love
Yeah.
them, I seriously do. I schedule them with my chiropractor every month when I go, and half the time I say, I don't have time, I gotta run.
Yeah.
So I threw it in my Stellite Magic, and it worked for me. It So I get it in.
Cypress and the rosemary and the.
Cypress and the rosemary and this, yeah, so I just dump them in there. So I have to dump out a little more extra of this, you know what I mean? But as you use it, as the month goes on or the 2 weeks go on, you just add the stuff back in. Yeah, you just add the Sunlight Magic back into your bottle. And I don't add any more oils, but I add this on.
Absolutely.
Totally, yes, totally it would help, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's what my problem with the swelling in the ankle.
okay, yep, so do this, you gotta get the fluid away from the ankle, so you gotta get it away from every place else so that it has places to go from your ankles, just like you said, exactly. Did that help answer your question? Did that help clarify? Yeah, okay, all right, so that's what I do every single day, every day, without fail, I don't miss it, I do it, and it's,
You do the rest, you do the thing.
I wanna give you that little routine.
oh yeah, so did we not do that yet? Did we not stand up and do that yet?
She wants to videotape your routine.
Okay, all right, okay, so
I've got it too.
okay, so this is my routine. So I start with the arms, or I start with the neck, I mean. I go across the clavicles and it's easy to go side, me crosswise, you know what I mean? Some people do this, but I don't, it's just not good for me. So I do that. Underarms. So I start here, I do this. I go all the way up like this. I come to my elbows, I come to my wrists, I come back to my elbows, I come back to my underarms, okay? Back to the clavicles. I do the girls while I'm standing here because I'm just going across anyway. I go back to the underarms. This way, this way, this way, back to the elbows, back to the underarms, all right? Girls we already took care of. Stomach. Circle, circle, up and down, circle, circle, up and down. It doesn't matter what order, I just get it all done, okay? Because of all the nodes and lymph system that runs through here. Groin, here. Leg, left side always, this way, ankle this way, back to the knee, back to the groin, back to the groin, back to the knee, back to the ankle, back to the knee, back to the groin, back to the stomach, up and down, up and down, up and down, back to the clavicles. If you want to do the underarms again, you can. Done. 45 seconds. I mean, really, when you get in a flow of it, pardon me.
Like putting on lotion.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, it's super fast. It's super fast. And I do that every day. And if there's times like when I'm just out and about, and yesterday I stayed home and I sat pretty much all day. And when I got up, I just felt puffy. Everything in my whole body felt like, and I hadn't moved for like 4 hours. So you know what I did? I just did that whole thing just standing there in my living room because it helps drain the fluid out. It helps get things moving. Look, and right now I'm tasting metal. Yeah, it's crazy. Do it anytime you want. Do it anytime you want because these earrings are crazy, aren't they? They just want to come out. Do it anytime that you need to. It's nothing that you don't have to do just once a day. Right? I would watch the Sunlight Magic though and just do that once a day. But you can do that movement as many times a day as you need to. Yes, it's totally a little mini workout. Right. Yeah.
So what do you do with the baking soda and hydrogen peroxide?
So that recipe is on the left-hand column. It's part of the detox bath. So in the ideal world, it's said to try to do it a couple of times a week when you're going to combine 4 cups of Epsom salts, 4 cups of baking soda, 4 cups of peroxide, and the 10 drops of rosemary. Make sure you put your oil in your salts, right? Because that's how they dissolve. Dump that all into your tub. You talk about an effervescent experience, but it pulls the junk out of you.
And they want you to stay in there a long time. So
Like
you wanna get
like
your-
20 to 40 minutes.
because-
Yeah.
It's tricky because you want to get your water to stand the temperature,
Yes.
but yet at the same time, you're gonna be in there a long time, so you want hot enough.
It-
So this is for
yeah.
a full bath.
Yes.
For a full bath, yes.
Right
on.
on. Bath, we can do.
20 to 40 minutes.
Yeah, by
So do it as long as you want. If you're gonna sit down and watch a show or read a book.
Is there a certain kind of peroxide
turn on, yeah.
Other than dead skin, no.
Just
Not like a-
like
like your
okay. Okay.
That's the whole.
Yes.
Supposed to be.
All right. I don't know if you guys have any other questions online. Was this fantastic information or what? Good info.
Yeah.
So that. 'cause
We
like
are
4
going
cups
to
of hydrogen peroxide.
Yeah.
wrap up the recording here. because we're gonna kind of hit a Q&A. So thank you guys so much for joining.
Okay.
If you have a question,
So you can get a
um,
full grade, which is better
I guess I can leave this open for just a minute,
Okay, so look.
but I'm gonna turn off the recording.
Okay. What about the